Okay, Algebra 1, welcome back. Welcome to Red Distance Learning. Hopefully we're only in this for a short time and finish the year face to face. But as I worked the keys to assignments 32 and 33, I noticed there were some tricky problems that we hadn't really covered in class. So, by watching this video, you will get 6 answers. The first 2 come from assignment 32 in chapter 7, section 3. And then the next 4 come from assignment 33. And those are 4 tricky problems out of that. So you'll get the right answers, plus you'll learn a little bit about how to do the ones that you might be stuck on. The one from 7-3 is a little easier, and that's why there's only 2 problems. So let's take a look. Number 38 deals with scientific notation. In addition to simplifying, they want your answer in scientific notation. And we haven't talked a lot about this, so I want to make sure we know what's going down. All right, so there's no exponent on the 7.4. Now that I think about it, you should probably pause the video and try these 6 problems on your own to see how much you can do. And then we'll come back and meet together and we'll see how you did. So now is a good time to pause the video and try these 6 problems. Okay, now that you've tried them, and I will know if you did or did not try them on your own. Give them a shot, see what you can do. All right, so what's the exponent on the 7.4 if it doesn't show? Yeah, it's a 1. So we put that in. Now, anytime you have an exponent inside the parentheses and outside, you multiply them together, just like our little cheat sheet shows. So we now have 7.4 squared, because 1 times 2 is 2, and 10 to the 8th, because 4 times 2 is 8. Now, they want the answer in scientific notation. So let's square the 7.4. So that's what? 54.76. And now we have times 10 to the 8th. Well, what that 10 to the 8th means is move that decimal to the right 8 times. So the first 2 take it by numbers, but then the next 6 you put zeros in there. So now it looks like this. Then you convert back to scientific notation, where we would want the decimal after the first number, and then there's 3, 6, 9 numbers after that decimal. So it turns into 5.476 times 10 to the 9th power. And if you recognize that you can just add a digit here, if you want to move the decimal one to the left, you can do that. But it's not a bad thing to write it out like that and then convert to scientific notation. Because the directions say, write the answer in scientific notation. So even though this is right, if you write it that way, you're going to miss some of the points. Okay, as you can see, number 24 on the next assignment will deal with scientific notation as well, so we'll get some more practice. All right, I went ahead and popped the 1s in here because we need to know what those exponents are. Now we have negative 5 to the 2nd and x to the 2nd plus 5x squared. So 1 times 2 is 2, and we do that twice. So now we have a negative 5 squared and an x squared added to 5x squared. Well, what's negative 5 squared? That's 2 negative 5's multiplied together, which gives you positive 25. Now, if you have 25 of something plus 5 more of the same something, we now have 30 of the somethings, which is x squared. But the negative made this one kind of tricky, and I just wanted to walk through it. Okay, so now we get this c and d on top, c and d on bottom. Hopefully you're remembering your laws of exponents, which says take this minus that, and take the d to the negative 5th minus d to the negative 1st. And it looks like this. We're going to get c to the 2/3 minus the 1/6. And we have the minus 5 minus negative 1. Well, negative and negative is positive. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. That's not too bad. This is going to require a review of your finding a common denominator thing. Okay, so how do we find a common denominator? Well, I'm going to take just the 2/3 minus the 1/6, and we're going to work it over here. To turn that into a 6, we'd have to multiply by 2. And you can only multiply a fraction by the number 1, so we do 2 over 2 times 2/3, which gives us 4/6. What's 4/6 minus 1/6? 3/6. And 3/6 can be reduced to 1/2. So now we have c to the 1/2 times d to the -4th. And you may be tempted to think you're done, but you are not. We're going to need to move that -4 to the bottom and make it positive. So it looks like that. C to the 1/2 over d to the 4th. And there are quite a few problems that have this negative exponent thing, and we're going to have to get practice at dealing with those. Okay, on to number 24 in section 7, chapter 7, section 4. We have scientific notation divided by another scientific notation. Well, this we're just going to do straight division. 1.3 goes into 5.2 4 times. And then we're going to do our 13 minus 7 to get 10 to the 6th. So we have 4 times 10 to the 13 minus 7, which is 4 times 10 to the 6th. Because the instructions say write the answer in scientific notation, that's as far as you have to go, instead of writing a 4 with 6 zeros after it. All right, I got this problem wrong when I did it on my own. I had everything flipped. So I'm going to set this up the way I didn't the first time, but it's going to look like this. Since it says there are 3.6 times 10 to the 15th picoseconds in an hour, what fraction of a second is a picosecond? We're going to need to know how many seconds are in an hour. Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and there are 60 seconds in a minute. So that means 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. All right, then we want to divide that by picoseconds. So it's going to look like this. Now, I thought it might be helpful if we turned 3,600 into scientific notation. So that would be 3.6 times 10 to the 123. So it's going to look like that. Now, just like we did up here in number 24, we're going to do 3.6 divided by 3.6, which anything divided by itself is 1. And then we're going to do 10 to the 3 minus 15. Well, 3 minus 15 is -12. So we're going to get 1 times 10 to the -12th. Now, that's a decimal with 11 zeros after it and a 1. But we're going to leave it in scientific notation because it's shorter and easier to do. Okay, this last one looks hard, but it's not that bad. What I want you to notice is that all 3 of these are the same base. So we're going to combine the top before we mess with the bottom. What's 3 0.2s and then 4 more 0.2s? Well, that's 0.2 to the 3 plus 4, or 7 0.2s. Now, because we already have 7 0.2s on the bottom, something divided by itself equals 1. And that's our final answer. So there are 6 answers to 6 of the tricky problems from your homework assignments. I would like you to try and finish these by Friday. Fingers crossed we can be back meeting next week, even if it's in yellow. I don't know if we're going to have a final exam yet. So the steps for you this week are to finish these 2 assignments and get them turned in. You can contact me through email and I'll set up a one-on-one Zoom with you and we can walk through some of your trickier homework questions. Just because we're in school does not mean that you don't need to get this stuff knocked out. I miss seeing what I assume are smiling faces under the masks. I look forward to meeting with you again in class, but until that time, we have one-on-one Zooms. I'll post this and you can get 6 right answers on your homework. Try your hardest on the rest and ask me for help if you need it. I hope you're COVID-free and enjoying your week of red.